Kind of like Monday Night Raw, but with words. So let's get into it. Okay, for those of you that are watching this after the fact, things will get started here in a second. But yeah, basically, every Monday I do a live stream. Almost every Monday, we've made almost all of them, and yeah, during the live stream we do hobby hangout stuff. And I haven't been able to paint for a while because I shattered my wrist last year, but I am now able to paint again. This is not my painting hand, but I discovered that I use this hand way more than I thought in order to paint, thanks to nerve damage from being a rescue swimmer in the Coast Guard. So, all that out of the way, let's get into actual hobby time. So, let's get this set up and, yeah, get going. Okay, get all these things going here. Good evening, Burden Denal. You are our first one, Empire's 501st. Hello, how's it going? It's another Monday, so it was time for another hobby hangout. I am getting it all set up here. So bear with me. Actually, I should grab the stand. That'll make things easier. Oh, there we go. Okay, boom. So we are doing some painting tonight. As soon as I get this all set up and going, we'll flip the camera around and we'll be over there tonight because, yeah, grippers are working. So let's do some painting. All right, let me get that set. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Bloop. How's everybody doing this Monday evening? How's everybody doing this? All right, and grab that. I'm sure there's a way to automate doing all of this administrative stuff with better software and cameras, but I don't have all that. I basically have a potato and some duct tape, so it is what it is. Wow! Pop. There we go. All right. Oh, what a miss. What a miss there. Burden, I'm good. I work for the next 5 hours. All right. Well, then you got plenty of time to sit and listen to me chat. Jehu, what are you working on? Let's bring you over to the workbench and just go ahead and show you right now. Switch boo. We are not working on a battle wagon. Do some zoomage in there. We are working on this feller right here. So this is the knob on Smash a Squig and the Squig Hog Boys. I've been working on these guys off and on, but mostly off for a few years, but on this week. So basically, last week when I discovered that my arm was working enough to paint again, I painted this guy start to finish. That was the knob that I did. I was really, really happy with how he turned out, given my lack of being able to do anything for a while. So then I started working on these guys. So here's where they are right now. There's the little bomb squiggy guy. And just, I love this unit. The models are so stinking cool. And this always gets me when people start bad-mouthing Beastnaga stuff. And I'm like, have you even looked at it? Look at this. This little squiggy, he's got a wheel instead of legs. With a little engine, a little two-stroke scooter engine right there. Heading on down. So we got him. We got this Squig Hog here, who's got a mechanical leg on this side. And the actual Beastnaga's got the cool, they have these metal mohawks that they use a lot. And then this guy's got a hanger on, a little grat there, doing his grat thing. So that was one Squiggy Piggy. Here's the next one. And as you can see, so with these guys, I started off with my black and red oxide zenithal. So just like this here. Oh, Cookie Monster, dude, thank you, man. But no, you're not hot garbage. Anybody can do this. This is a lot of trickery and frippery that I have shown off on the channel many, many times. There are things that are your friends when it comes to doing stuff like this. A lot of what you see here is weathering techniques from scale model building. So, like for example, the red blood splatter here. That is super easy. You get yourself an absolutely knackered brush. You want it with the bristles all super wide like that, and you get yourself a little bit of Flesh Tear's contrast paint, and you wipe most of it off, and then you jab it, you stab it like that, and that gets the dried blood. And then when you want the wet blood, you use this stuff right here, Tamiya X27 Clear Red. This is your fresh, glossy blood. Super gory and delicious. But yeah, that is literally the trick. There's no like crazy amounts of painting, little dots. It's this. You use a use a crappy brush. And then the little metal marks that you see, the bare metal, all of that is done with a sponge, which again I've shown 1,000 times. You get these cheap sponge things, and you cut some off and you dip it in silver paint. And again, you take most of the paint off and you just kind of dab the sponge on, and it gives you these wicked awesome chipping marks. Yeah, I mean it's stuff like that. Like you too can paint like this. I'm a nobody, but yeah. So these guys, they're undercoated. So once again, I start off with a black prime, so they look like that. And then what I do is I zenithal. So that's where you prime straight from the top with the red oxide. So when you look at the bottom side of the minis, they're black. And when you look at the top side of the minis, they are the red oxide primer color. And I really like this for orcs because the red actually adds a warmth to the skin tones that works really well. And it really helps the metal look like, not necessarily like rusty, but like real metal. So if you do have anything left over in the little gaps and stuff when you're painting, that little bit of red actually looks really good and really normal. Okay, back to the dudes. So yeah, black, zenithaled with the red. I have base coated the squigs, and that's just this contrast Doomfire magenta. Puts this really cool red effect on them. The beast nagas have some random green. I don't know, whichever random green I grab. I make all of my squads different greens, if not each individual boy different greens, because they just look better like that. And then there's black on the black, and there's bolt gun metal on the metal. And that's about where we're at so far. So this squiggy right here, he's got a mechanical leg on the front. And then his rider has a mechanical leg on the other side, which is really fun, along with a half metal gob. And then the Grot actually has, surprisingly, symbionics. Look at his arm. His little hand has been replaced with a hook that he can use to hold on to the little chain thingy there on the back of the Squighog boy. So that's pretty cool that, a Grot got something more than just a peg leg. So yeah, he's pretty cool. He might actually be my favorite one. And then there is this guy. Okay, no, this guy's my favorite one because he's got a wheel and an engine. Again, these guys are not feral. These are so mechanical and so Mad Maxy. I love them. I mean, look, he's got twin suspension going on there, chain drive, got a cylinder head, I'm guessing, on that side. On the exhaust on this side. The cylinder head really shows what I was talking about with that red, though. Like, you could see there's quite a bit of the red peeking through the silver on that. I did that on purpose because I just dry brushed this. Because that look does look really, really good. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then I did their furs and things. I did each one a different color. So, like this guy, because they're all a different texture. So I figured they're from different beasties. So he's got a yellow fur. This dude actually has a green fur of all things, because I wanted to try it. And this guy's got like a dark blue, and then the knob's got a purple. I really like the purple. Where it's really light on the end turned out really good. The rest of it's a little too dark, so I gotta I gotta brush it up. But yeah, then that's the knob on Smash the Squig. You can see this Smash the Squig's got a hydraulic head going on, and then obviously the knob has an entire bionic arm. And then this one, I really love his fur isn't a fur; it's a Necron spine, which is just so metal. So yeah, that's what we're working on. We'll be working on these guys tonight. Let me get caught up with the chat here. Let's see. Cookie Monster, yeah, man. We'll get you there. We'll get you there. Galaxy Gaming painting Dark Angels. No, by all means, paint away. I know I'm very orc centric on this channel, but I've said it a million times. I love everything 40k, and I own multiple armies of my own, including Space Marines. And I actually really like Dark Angels. They're one of my favorite chapters as far as like tabletop mini wise and like paint schemes and stuff. So yeah, by all means, paint them beakies. And I mean, they're green. Green is best, right? Let's see. I got a question here. What contrast paint do I use the most from JQ? That is a tricky question. I don't actually use any one particular contrast paint all like more than the others. Like I've got a bunch of these different browns because they work so well for orcs and all their different like and Imperial Guard, to be honest. So I use a lot of the browns. I use honestly shades more than anything. I use a ton of Nuln Oil and a ton of Seraphim Sepia. That is definitely one of my go-to tricks in my book. But yeah, contrast basically the browns. I use a lot of the browns. Tends to be my thing. Oh, here's a couple more over here. So yeah, there's 6 different contrast browns that are just within immediate reach. Oh, I love this shade. This Targor Raid shade. This is like a deep reddish purple brown. I don't know. It's hard to describe, but this shade works wonders. I am much more of a shade guy than a contrast guy. Like, yeah, see, there's Berserker Blood shade, which helps with like when you do skin. Anytime like right here where the bionics meet the skin, I like to put that red shading in there. It helps sell that effect. This Draconoff Nightshade is great on anything blue. So yeah, probably shades more than anything. That's what I would say. VG from Norway. Welcome, welcome. All right, let's get painting. Again, if you guys have any questions, throw them in the chat. I'll try to see them on the camera. If I don't see them on the camera, I'll check off camera every once in a while. But let's get painting. Need to decide where I want to be, what I want to be doing next. Let's take a look at our little guy here again. Oh, inside of the squig mouths. I have not addressed inside of the squig mouth. So I like to, in my painting process, I like to kind of block everything out and base cut everything out before I start really detailing, because you'll actually be surprised at how often you end up covering things up. And so it actually saves a ton of time if you know that you're not going to be really going hardcore at something anyway. You know, definitely work on saving yourself that time. So, all right, let's get some paint inside squig mouths. Ah, come on. Don't like the pots, but I hate dropper bottles, so I will deal with any pot more than a dropper bottle. Okay. My light is like, there we go. The camera's in the way of my light. I need to be able to, I gotta see it first. If I can't see it, you can't see it. So what I'm doing here is I'm putting red in, especially on the tongue, and then kind of dry brushing inside the mouth a little, or like, it's kind of like medium wet dry brushing. I don't know what the heck you call it, but basically as the paint like wears off on what I'm painting with. I use that almost dry brush style, even though I'm not dry brushing, if that makes any sense whatsoever. If it doesn't, let me know. Tell me I'm an idiot. And then I like to double check, make sure that I don't need to paint inside the guys' mouths too. Normally I do red eyeballs on my orkies, but since the squigs are red eyeballs don't work that great. So I do the squig eyes in yellow. This guy here is a snotling. And snotlings, since they are green, they have yellow eyes, or red eyes, like the orcs. But I'm still not real happy with this lighting setup. Bear with me while we get this figured out. Haha, Kitten Cece, hello from Oregon. Let's go with... Let's see. Catching back up. Oh man, Cambodia. Dang, how many countries we got on here? I've seen Norway and Cambodia and America already. What else we got? Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, Rectopus from Cambodia, are you able to order my merch? I'm not saying like go actually buy something, but will they ship to you? Oh, we got Canada too. Kitten Keys, I haven't used GW paints. I like a dropper bottle. Love the Pro Acryl. Awesome. Use what you like. That's what I always tell everybody. You know, people ask like, what are my favorite paints, or what do I recommend, or what should they buy? Paint with what you like. Because here's the thing. It doesn't matter if I like it. I'm not the one painting it. You are. So I encourage people to try all the different brands, all the different styles. Some people really like thinning their paints. Some people really like using wet palettes. Some people really like airbrushing. Some people really like watercolors. Some people like oils. Like, everybody is different. So use a bunch of things, figure out what works for you, and then do that. You don't need to make me happy. You don't need to use what I use. Like I'll let you know what I did to get my effect or whatever, you know, like I've said, the clear red. But if this doesn't work for you, you know, find something that does. That there's nothing wrong with that. Which leads me right into Kitten C, who asks if I recommend GW paints. I do and I don't. I do not like their base coats. I really like their shades. I love their shades. In fact, I started using their shades before I even started painting Warhammer. I used their shades on scale modeling. Let's see. Jakey wants to work on my Stompa. I'm not sure it'll be around 11th. Oh, man, Stompa's not going anywhere. Are you kidding me? Games Workshop loves that model. They make a ton of profit on it. It looks great on the tabletop. They sell a ton of them. It's not going anywhere at all. Like, yeah, don't even worry your little head. Certain GE ones are great. Sometimes I really don't like Fang, Corn, Red, Snakebite, Leather. Oh, are we talking about contrasts? Yeah, I don't know. Depends. Again, depends what you like. Yellow eyes with some Druki. Violet is my get IRSP. Ooh, I like that, Rectopus. Thank you. And BGG Hobbies from the UK. All right, that's, what, 5 countries? We got Norway, Cambodia, United States, Canada, and the UK. Shipping in and out of Cambodia is a nightmare, sadly. Oh, that's too bad. The reason why I asked Rectopus is the company that we use that makes the stuff, they make it in different areas of the world. So like they make stuff in Australia to ship to Australia, New Zealand. And like I wasn't sure if they make anything near or maybe even in Cambodia. So that's why I said to check, because I think it'll tell you where it ships from before you actually order. Because that was one of the things we did to avoid, you know, tariffs and all that stupid jazz that is my country, unfortunately. All right. All right. So BC. Oh yeah, can't forget the grot. Don't forget the grot. Work's got me into painting every good exercise for my eyes after horrible TBI. Oh man, Shots in the dark. Yeah, recovering from any kind of injury, especially a TBI. This would be great for that. And hello from Minnesota. All right, Chevy, do you by chance happen to have your Kitbash Breaka Crusha around? Trying to Kitbash mine into an orc boy's body, but having some issues with the backpacks on. So I'm guessing Break a Boy Crusha Knob? Or is that the one that's got the two fists? Yes, I do. Give me a sec. Let's finish up this paint color and put it away, and I will get that out for you. Boop. All right. There's that one down. Okay. Couple more to go. Yeah, the piston hands. Okay, no, I got you. Got a painting with Thousand Suns, also Thousand Suns Addict. Oh, nice. Ah, Rectopus was over at Mindtaker. That's why they were out of everything. I've been trying to buy stuff there for weeks. I haven't been able to make my way down there until very recently. I wasn't able to drive when I had the giant cast on, and so needless to say, getting all the way out there was quite the ordeal. But now that I can drive myself again. All right, I know you're probably wondering why I'm just kind of painting the tongue and ignoring the rest of the mouth. It's because I'm going to use a contrast paint in the rest of the mouth, and I want it to be dark. I only want the tongue really to be bright, because your tongue is a lighter color than the rest of your mouth. Oh, Rectopus, I broke my hand when you were here? Dude, that sucks. I'm sorry. Was definitely an inopportune time to break it, period. October was a total bust for the channel, thanks to that breakage, which really made the year a bust because October usually accounts for something like a third of our growth on the year. So basically, if October had gone off as we had wanted, the channel would have been over 10,000 members at the end of the year instead of over 8,000. So, yeah, it super stunted us for a while. The Squiggies are cuties. Recent rescues from the fighting pin shelters. Yeah, something like that. I actually got... So I have two squads of these Squig Hog boys. I've got one that came in the original Beast Snag Army box that I bought way back when it came out and was brand new, even though I didn't really build them right away. And then the second one came in the that Beast Snaga Holiday Battle Force that had come out. And I totally converted one squad. So both of my squads are different. In fact, here is the difference on this particular guy. So for those of you that don't know, these guys are modular. So you can swap them back and forth, including the heads on the squigs. So notice big snarly head on that one and closed face one on that one. And you can swap the riders and you can swap the grots. So yeah, super easy to kit bash these to look different. They are not monopose by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, that's that guy. I think all we got left is the knob, and then we got to go find that Rekka guy. Let's see. He's got his mouth closed, so we don't got to worry about him. Get that tongue. Boop. And boop. All right. And he does not have a grot with him. So, bam. That is that one. All right. Let's clean that off. This was surprisingly hard to learn how to do again, this pinch. It was really difficult. I've only, I'd say within the last 10 days, been able to pinch hard enough to clean a brush. And even that, like, I don't want to say causes pain, but causes some discomfort. Don't shatter your wrist, folks. Don't shatter your wrist. Okay, breakaway. Let's see. Aha. Oh, he broke. Oh, no, no, he didn't break. Oh, I remember this now. Okay, so this is what was being asked about. This is a conversion. These are the piston fists things for the Rekka crew on, obviously, an old school orc body. The arms go on really nice and easy. The shoulder pads, cover things up. He was asking about the backpack. So there's the backpack. And this side, you could see the wire actually went on pretty decent. It is cracked there in the middle, but I don't think I actually needed to do that. I think that just happened because I dropped it or whatever. But yeah, the wire on this side is missing. I'm gonna make one out of copper. It just didn't work, and frankly, the plastic on these wires makes them terrible. I actually have quite a few guys that I need to redo hoses like that on that I'm going to use copper wire for. But yeah, that's how I did the backpack. So just get the backpack on and then deal with the wires separately. And I'll show you why that's such a big deal. Like here, this is a chain, not copper wire, but look at how good that looks compared to like what plastic chain does. So like once that's all painted up, that's gonna look the business and really sell that effect. And it's all together. It's not broken anywhere. Whereas the plastic, it could break. Where else? I have another guy. Oh, like this. Like when you have a short one like this, the plastic tends to work well. But when you get these longer ones, like this one right here, they break a lot or it doesn't sag. Like look at how the wire is up at his elbow. Physics doesn't work like that. And I mean, I know we're talking about a self-aware fungus using a weapon that shoots things through the warp here. Like physics doesn't matter, but you know what I mean. Like there's a certain amount of realism, right? So these sag because of gravity. This should sag too. So I actually want to clip this wire off and use a copper wire that's going to come down like that and like a U shape, like this does, so that it matches and looks right. The little short one up here, like when you have really short stuff like that, like it can, kind of defy gravity like that. But this big long one, it should definitely have more of a droop to it. Okay, holy cow, let me get caught up on these again. Let's see. Is that an old world torso? Yes, it is. I thought that torso looked especially good with Breaker Boy stuff because it's got those cool dimpled armor things on it. I have some with my regular boys too, but yeah, way cool than that. D. Crombie, so excited for new Mega Knobs. I have bad news for you. We are not getting new Mega Knobs. We will get a new War Boss and Mega Armor and a new Big Mech and Mega Armor and maybe like a character in Mega Armor. But the actual Mega Knobs, I think, are staying the same. Graspin' Ginger's dislocated your shoulder 6 times in the same area. Dude, stop doing that. Ouch. Are you some sort of Dark Eldar? Do you like the pain? I am so sorry, man. Let's see. Alvin Portoff, Grot tanks would be really awesome. Yes, they would. I would love Grot tanks. Yes, orcs need tanks, period. Grot tanks, regular tank, looted tank. We need tanks. We don't even have a tank. Yes, breaking bones is not advised. Just avoid that. Chain looks great. Yeah, I really love this chain. I like this pose never made sense to me. Like, why was he just sitting there with his arm like that? And why would the squig listen to him anyway? And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. Like, if he's got a chain through his mouth and it's wrapped around his power claw, right? Now you see why the squig is obeying. Like, that makes a lot more sense. To the point where I was even, you could see some green on there. I was like a good amount of way into painting this guy before I decided to do this, and I'm liking this way better. Absolutely, like 10/10. Do recommend. Worried about what the new orcs will be like. Seems like GW got rid of all the original creative talent. I was worried about that too, but I feel like they've seen the error of their ways and they are definitely making an effort to go back to what people really love. In fact, some of the rumors on 11th edition include Primaris is going away, like the actual keyword is gone. Tracked tanks are supposed to be back. So like brand new Rhino, brand new Predator, brand new Land Raider. Tactical squad is going to be back. So they're going to look like Primaris Marines still, but they're going to have like the old school style actual beaky helmet, tactical helmet stuff. And you'll be able to take like the one heavy weapon guy and the one flamer dude or whatever in there. So I have hope. I have big hope. Let's see. I was trying to put on the break a shoulder plate that goes on the whole back. Yeah, the big shoulder plate thing. These you don't use that with the pistons because this takes place of it. Like literally, even in the instructions, you're not supposed to do this. So yeah, I would avoid using that at all and just use a couple of regular shoulder pads, and it's going to make a lot more sense. Plus, you're gonna need that if you want to have enough to do all of the models. Because if you don't, you're not gonna have enough to kit bash a whole squad of them. You need 5 of the backs for the knob and 4 of the dudes, and then the one without the back or the top armor plate has the fists. Could I replace that hose with earplug string? I don't know, maybe. Oh yeah, brass wire. You're right. I'm sorry, brass wire. Brass wire is far cheaper than copper. Yeah, just using some brass wire. Yeah, by all means, steal this. I mean, yeah, steal this. You should do this. Everybody should do this. It's not even my original idea. I'm sure I saw it somewhere else, and then I forgot about it for 6 months, and then it clicked, and suddenly I did it. But yeah, orc players should loot things like that from other orc players all the time. That's what we do. Bring back looted wagons. Absolutely. Yes, soldering wire can work nicely, except for it stays a little too soft. The copper or brass wire, you actually have to bend with pliers. And so it holds its shape a little better. Solder, you can actually like move with your fingers. Been collecting kit bashing orcs for years, and I'm finally starting the hell that is painting. I thought it was hell until I couldn't paint for 4 months, and now all I want to do is paint. Yes, cheap costume jewelry chain has excellent chain. That's probably where this came from, honestly, was some sort of cheap costume jewelry thing. It is by no means real, decent chain at all. Is that little grot a Reaper Goblin? Which grot? Which grot are we talking about? This guy? Or this guy? This guy is a snotling from Blood Bowl, I want to say, or something. I'm not sure. One of the viewers actually sent this in a box with Gazgul, or a Gazgul box, I should say. Unless you're talking about a different grot. I don't see any other grots laying around here. At least not in the camera. A thin brass wire makes good lightning effects. Yes, it does. Cut up Ethernet cable for a ton of scale modeling stuff. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, if you could get your hands on some actual wiring and take the copper out of it, that's pretty good too. Dorkwife loves the snotlings. Snotlings are great. I love snotlings. I used to not be fans of grots and snots and stuff, but the more I got into orcs, the more I love them because they really they're the yin to the orcs yang, right? Like you can't really appreciate how big and brutal an orc is until you've got a grot to kick around or something like that. I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay. What are we doing now? Let's do some more painting. I really want to do some more painting. Okay, so let's do some touch-ups because that is a great thing to talk about while we're doing this. Yeah, that one you grabbed. This snotling. Yeah, I'm 99% sure this is Games Workshop, but I don't actually know. Like I said, it came in a box from a viewer, and he's just been kind of hanging out on the painting desk because I don't know anything about him. Keep bashing your Mega Knobs into Chaos Terminators. Excellent. Notice most bad paint jobs are caused by people failing to purchase good brushes. Psh. Have you seen the brushes I paint with? Did you not catch that? I mean, look at this brush. Does that look taken care of to you? And yet that painted this. And this. Oh, and this guy. Painted this one too. I think people get too caught up in what they use in their hobby stuff and not caught up enough in what their things actually look like. That stepping back and looking at the macro, looking at the forest, or, the trees for the forest, the other way around, you know what I mean? Start using air dry clay for basing. You have to varnish it. Oh, that's cool. All right, RBers, sounds good. I will take a look at the Discord when I am done painting. Bro, I never thought in the last 35 years I would jump into 40K as an orc guy. I'm telling you, man, it works are the best. I believe it'll paint their fort paints. Absolutely. That's all you got to do is believe in it. Okay, we're going to work on some touch-ups because I think that that's an important part of paint jobs. Once you get your base coats laid out like this, you will inevitably have things that you missed. So, like, just pausing for a second and taking a look at everything to make sure that you've got all the right colors where you want them before you continue on is important. So there's things like mess ups. So like right here, there's a little bit of silver that got onto the brown, but also just not enough coverage. So right here, I still have the red undercoat instead of the brown, and that should be brown. Making sure I've got my strap all the way on both sides, which I do. Oh, here on the top, that was the other thing on this one. So this strap here, I think I've got brown here, even though it's not very much, but on this side right here, there's like nothing. So I need to make sure I get some brown on that strap. So what I really need to do is get my brown out and do some more browning on there. Unfortunately, the heck if I can remember which one of these browns it is. So we're going to grab a random one and go for it. Zoop-a-doop-a-doo. And yes, I am so orky that even like using the same color every time is not in my concern wheelhouse. It reads more authentic. But also, again, it comes from that scale modeling background. Like when you build armor or aircraft, and every single panel is a slightly different shade, and then you get done and you step back and it looks amazing. That's part of that. Like sometimes you just have to do that to really see that, like, hey, no, this should be like real life is random and has variety like that we miss in miniature painting sometimes. All right, now because this is a contrast paint and it is translucent, it is not going to cover up that little silver speck. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my brown aside because I'm going to keep using that for these next guys anyway. But I am going to grab actually a tiny little bit of black. Boop. Yes, black, not brown. I'm just going to sneak it in there like that. Boom, done. Easy peasy. Put that right back away. Yeah, I use the same brush and everything. I know the horror. Somewhere out there is a golden demon winning painter who is just absolutely having an aneurysm at my antics over here. All right, he's good. All right, this guy. What did I have? Yeah, so same kind of thing. Like right here, the front of this saddle is not very brown, and the top of the bridle, I'm not real sure what that thing is on a squig, but that's not very brown, so we'll put some more coats on both of those. Try to get down into that That little valley in there. There we go. Oh yeah, he also had some going on here on his strap. Oh man, chat going crazy again tonight. The exact same knife, it's quality trust. Yeah, this one, this is fantastique. Totally forgot it was hobby hangout night. It was even doing hobby stuff. Yeah, I'm trying Shady Snakes. I'm trying to do every Monday. We missed the Monday of the week of New Year's because I took that whole week off. And then the following week we did the live stream on my birthday on Saturday instead of on Monday. But otherwise, I've been trying to hit Mondays pretty consistently for a while now. He's got this like rope thingy on his back, so let's get that in there. So yeah, when you're doing these touch-ups, you want to like follow the lines of the color, right? And go, okay, does it keep going anywhere else? Did I miss anywhere else? You know, is there something that's a little lacking? Like look at how he's got this bandolier that comes up and over, and then there's the metal thing. There's a strap underneath the metal thing too. You see it there? Right there? And so like making sure that gets the color on it too is a big deal. So that's what you're looking for. That's some of what you're doing with this step. Like right here, I got a little spot there that need a little extra help. Same thing with his bandoliers. Got a little bit of green out there. Pop that. Look at those straps are looking okay. Come around this side. Oh yeah, see, like missed a big old chunk in there. So go ahead and just slather that in there and let it run, almost using it like a wash. Very much on purpose. Because again, don't be afraid to be really messy and dirty with these steps. Because again, you're going to end up covering so much of this stuff up that like really worrying about super crispness right now, you're just wasting time, honestly. All right, so, oh yeah, same thing. That little bandolier's top right there. Bingo. Let's see, he's got the strap in the back. Pop it like that. Pop it like it's hot. Pop it like it's hot. Got a little piece of that saddle. And I think that's it. All right, that's good. That was all the brown touch we needed. So you can see, I mean, it really wasn't that much that needed touched up, despite me painting it really messy to start with. And the reality is, like, I didn't even really need to kind of do that step in the moment, but it was bothering me. Like, I kept seeing those bare spots on the knob when I picked it up, and so it was distracting me from the other places I needed to paint. So, you know, good time to check in and do that. All right, let's see. What do I got? What days and how often do I stream on YouTube? Do I use Twitch too? I am no longer on Twitch. I used to be on Twitch a while ago. It's just too many different platforms for me to keep up on. I just can't do it. So I'm YouTube only. Monday nights, usually around 8 o'clock. We usually go for 60 to 90 minutes. That would be 8 o'clock Pacific time because that's the time zone I'm in, and I can't do math because I'm an orc. And then yeah, sometimes we'll do a special stream, like we did one on my birthday. Stuff like that. So, you know, watch out for special streams. Drop done. Orcs don't need uniformity. Absolutely. Within the last, oh, hey, Assault Defend K. Within the past 30 days, came across your channel. I have a 1-year experience with 40K. So I'm not new to kit bashing. My Waaaagh started with 2 AOS boxes. Nice. Welcome to the Waaaagh, man. Orc Warclan Spearhead. Nice. So we are all about the kit bashing here, even using AOS stuff. You can see this is some Auric Shaman guy that I am working on turning into a weird boy. And yeah, the aforementioned old world body being used as a breaker boy. And even Blood Bowl. I got us a Blood Bowl guy here. Took the football out and gave him a bomb rocket thing. And we've got us another bomb grot, or bomb squig. See, because he's dressed up as a squig, get it? So yeah, all about the kit bashes here. Hey, Tanges Knife 5291. Glad to have you here hobbying too. Streaming for the preview later this week. I haven't decided that or not yet, BGG Hobbies. So I had been doing the previews for a long time. I stopped doing the previews when they started sucking. Now that they've started being good again, I've started streaming them again. So maybe Friday night, if you guys all really want it, let me know and we'll do it. D. Crombie thinks AOS is some of the cool minis. AOS has like the best minis, except for like War or Underworlds and Necromunda. Like this guy, I think, is an Underworlds guy. But yeah, I love AOS minis. And I would love to play AOS if I had the time and the money and the space. I'll be here on Monday, non-sumo tourney nights, then pretty regular. Nice. In the Discord. Yep, yeah, just if you're on the Discord, you will get announcements every time I go live. So yeah. Oh, hey, more DACA shirt. Nice. Glad you liked it. Has anyone picked up the new stickers? Have you gotten the stickers in yet? Take the camera here for a second. Ugh. I started putting stickers up there. Isn't that cool? That's the 4-inch one. All right, back down here. More painting. Let's do some more painting. Okay. By the way, for those of you that were not on the birthday stream and missed it, I gave everybody $5 to use at the web store as a way of saying thank you for joining my birthday stream. So I will randomly do things like that. So it pays to to hang out with me. Because, yeah, I get a little money. All right, let's do some washes. All right, so all of our metal here is good old-fashioned... Nope, not that one. This one. Leadbelcher. And now that it's all Leadbelchered, we're going to Nuln Oil it to darken it down. Get my camera is blocking the heck out of my light. It's making this really... Oh, no! Man down. Making it really hard to paint. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm going to be ignoring the chat for a bit here while I paint. I wish I had a chatbot that would read to me or somebody like sitting in here with me. That would make it a lot easier to respond to these things. Maybe one of these days I'll convince the grots to do that with me. So yeah, super basic. We're just taking Nuln Oil. We're slapping it on everywhere that there's Leadbelcher. Because it will give the effect of a more darkened metal, and it will let all of that glorious detail shine through. You even want to do like... Here I've got, you know, the little toe things and knee pads and the little hydraulic ram. Just go ahead and slap it on all of it. Slap it on all of it. You don't have to use a uniform amount. You don't have to do it in a uniform way. What you want to do is just kind of get some in there for the contrast. I like to focus on the areas where it's... I wish this light was just a little bit longer, and that would help. But you want to get into these like cracks and recesses like that. See that recess that goes all the way around his little smashy noggy thing? If you can get some definition and some separation in there, it's going to help sell the effect that that's, you know, riveted to his head a lot better. And then once you get that, like giving it a little bit of a once over on the actual plate so you can pick up all the little scratches and dents in it and stuff. Get this armor piece for sure. It's got all sorts of little venty things in there. That toe. Backside of his arm. So yeah, like I was saying earlier, I'm super old school in the way that I paint. I like to do a base coat and a wash and then a dry brush highlight. For tabletop level stuff, that works absolutely fantastic. I still like that better than contrast. I think it turns out looking better, more quote-unquote real. See, I still have the dropsies. It just randomly stops working. I had that before I broke my wrist, to be fair. That's again, that whole nerve damage, rescue swimmer injury thing. But yeah, it's gotten a little worse since the old wrist breakage. Okay. This Nuln Oil is almost out. So I really gotta reach the brush in there. Get that on everything on the... Sure, still in the camera frame here. Get that on everything on that. And again, don't be afraid to let the Nuln Oil touch other things. Like, you know, maybe you needed a shadow there and you didn't even think about it. Like, let the paint help. Let the paint help. It's so funny. This is the converted squad of these guys. This isn't even the quote-unquote right squad of these guys. So yeah, if you're wondering why these squig hogs look different than yours, these are the ones that are kit bashed and... I mean, not even really kit bashed or converted, just using the parts that are interchangeable between the squig hog boys and the beast egg boys. All right, so look at like how much heavy lifting that Wash is doing. Like, look at his arm versus, let me find another mechanical. Like, versus this guy's leg. Like, do you see the difference there? And I mean, what did that take? A minute, maybe, if that, to do all the metal on this? So yeah, washes, man. Washes are the secret. All right, let's check in on the chat. Holy cow, man, you guys are just on it tonight. I love this. Orc Warcran Spearhead, 50% off MSRP. Nice. Planning to do Corn Demons AOS, as you could use them in both. Very good idea. What's $500 in 40k 2 combat patrol boxes? Hey, I've done whole armies. They're not $500 anymore. They're more like $650. 40k Orc lore is great for building and painting. So I'm going to go with some convoluted series of events to explain why that gun has Tau armor and a Necron gun. Easy, because they found it. Pay them into Warhammer and they'll super monitor the chat for you. Yeah, it's more like they got homework and stuff like that, you know. Dirt Hermit's here. Wah! For everyone that doesn't know, Dirt Hermit runs the Gorka Morka RPG, which is his own creation and is super duper fun. Demons will still be an army in 11th. I guarantee it. Used a box of orcs, boys, and all the arms to bring your orcs into 40k's Battlefield Grand Boys. Nice. There's a short going around Graham of a knob carrying an ultramarine cut out in front of himself. Yes, that I've seen that model. That is awesome. Everyone is like, what work? All right, Stinky, you win for the best watching from the bathtub. I think that beats out all the fun countries. Surgery's could have impinged the nerves a little. Absolutely. Well, again, I've got... I'm not going to show it again, but I got scars all over in here from the nerve damage stuff. But yeah, I think they deadened right in here. And yeah, basically it's just like the signal starts working, or stops working, and they just go bloop. Liquid Talent, as Nuln Oil is called. Absolutely. But it's not just Nuln Oil. It's all shades. All shades are Liquid Talent. Any hope for new Warbike models? I guarantee it. We are getting new Warbikes. You bet a teeth on it. Have I played the Speed Freaks board game? Have I played the Speed Freaks board game? No, I haven't. I bought it. That's actually what got me back into 40k. Loved it dearly. I may have like tried a solo game or 3, but no, I never actually played it against anybody else. I still have it. It's the background of all my shots. The box is full of all the rules. I would be happy to play it with anyone, anytime. It looked like a heck of a lot of fun. It had a lot of specialized dice. That tends to sink games. I don't know if people have noticed that or not, but games that require specialized dice tend not to do well. We're talking board games here, obviously, not RPGs. RPGs obviously love their crazy dice. Even though I don't know why, because everything's on a D20. You could just leave it with the D20, but you know, like 40k is very much D6. D6 is for everything. And that's part of why it works so good compared to other games of the time. But yeah, Speed Freaks has a bunch of its own random dice, and that it tends to not go over very well. Okay. A little bit on that, a little bit on that, a little bit on that, a little bit on that. Whee, the chain. That was easy. As you guys see, I'm just slathering, basically. You do not have to be super precise with this. Again, if it gets somewhere else, I guess I needed a shadow there. Like, it's not... Don't overthink it. Yeah, get a bunch on this weapon here. It's going to make it look way better. Super duper duper duper. One thing I did find funny is the weapons that the Squighog boys have. They're like rocket harpoon things. Right? Check it out. It's a harpoon. It's got a couple of rockets on it and a rocket on the back. And then they've got like these chains to hook, to snag whatever they're snagging or whatever. But the weapons the regular Beast Snagga boys have don't match. And the weapons the hanger-on dudes have on the kill rig are different too. So the Beast Snaggas have 3 completely different weapons that do the same thing, like lore-wise and kind of tabletop-wise. I thought that was interesting. Alright, did we get all the metal on this guy? I think we did. Yeah, he's looking good. Alright, that's 2 down. Let's do the little guy. Let's break it up. My grouts do not find or steal. They put to better use. Not a fan of the new Null Oil formula. Neither am I, which is why I've got... I'll just show you. A whole drawer full of spares. Because who doesn't have spares of the bottles of things that they need and use the most? This is what you should do. Like, look, oh, there's a bunch of Agrax Earthshade. I know there's some Null Oil in here somewhere. I might be running low. Yeah, anytime I find the old pots, if I go to a Warhammer store and they've got an old one, or, like Mine Taker gets one traded in, I buy it. Yes, I buy used paints. Took me bloody ages to bash that trike in Rosnick. Dang. Squidcog's looking great. Hey, thanks. Bob Ross, happy little accidents. A new truck? No, not a new truck. That's the battle wagon. We were working on this when with the broken arm. I have not picked it back up. Yes, Gorka Morka does not use a D20. Orcs don't count that high. Yet another reason why I love it so much, Dirt Hermit. Liking the Pro Acro Blackwash line of late. Cool. Yes, oils and enamels are excellent for washes, but I get tired of opening up my oils. But yeah, I do use quite a bit of oil, or did use quite a bit of oils. Harpoon is super useful and guilty. Nice. Army Painter Strong Tone. Cool. Alright, let's do some more painting. I mixed this up again. You guys believe it? I had the tall pot even and did not spill it. And all that time. That's all that's left. And when it's empty, it's going to be turned into a Death Dread. Bloop, 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 bloop. Bloop, 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 bloop. I kind of messed up on this nail. It had the black and red Zenithal undercoat on it, and it looked kind of like a rusty nail. And I thought, wow, that looks really good. Right as I painted the silver on it, and I went, oh no! I should have left that alone. It would have looked way better as a rusty nail he was holding instead of a silver one, but what are you going to do? I know I have a second one of these somewhere. I think I moved it to my my second commando squad, so maybe I'll make that one a rusty nail. There we go. There's a little There's a little squiggy, little tiny little squiggy. Let's get these guys. No, our orc. Oh, I see. Our orc's getting a new truck. Yes. For those that haven't heard my ramblings about this yet, the truck kit is going away, and I know this as a student of business. So Games Workshop, like I know they like catch flack for raising their prices, and rightfully so and whatnot, but they can only reprice things when it becomes a new kit. And so the truck, even though it has had its price raised a number of times, is still actually a really affordable kit because it is based on its original pricing from 2008, from almost 20 years ago. That being said, it is an incredibly expensive kit to manufacture. You get 4 complete sprues in there, and they are complicated sprues. Like you can tell that the mold for that thing is psychotic because it is a scale model. It is not a Warhammer model. It has full detail underneath. It has drive shaft. It has transfer cases. It has leaf springs. It's got a radiator and a fan. Like it has so much more detail than literally anything else Games Workshop puts out. And that detail costs money. It costs money to design. It costs money to manufacture. It costs money to sell. The amount of shelf space that the truck kit takes up, being that it is so many sprues, is higher than other models. So what we're talking about shelf space. So when they ship things, this is a great example up here. I'm gonna show this to you. Up here in the cabinet, all right. You see how skinny the Ruckachuck Squig Buggy box is, right? And then look at the Combat Patrol. Okay, the current truck is in a box like this, like the Big Ed Boss Bunka. That takes up twice the real estate as the Ruckachuck Squig Buggy. So they have to sell 2 of these, or they get to sell 2 of these for every 1 truck. And so you got more profit margin in this and less shipping costs. And so, yeah, for all of those kind of reasons, they are going to be done with the truck. But also, the truck is bloody ginormous. People don't notice because they don't glue all the stuff onto it and really measure it and take it into account. But it is absolutely huge. It is as big as the battle wagon in every dimension except for overall length. And that's only if you put a def roller on the battle wagon. If you don't put the prow on the battle wagon at all, because there was a time that you could run the battle wagon just like that and not even have the prow on it, it's literally the same length. So here you have this kit that's the size of the biggest transport that army can take. Physicality. It's a bigger box, period, like in reality. And it's like a filthy hard kit to build, which causes customer service issues. Like, yeah, it is absolutely going away for all of those reasons. The new kit will be a very similar design. Like, don't throw away your trucks; they'll still be good. And it will be smaller, but it won't be like so overly smaller. It's more all the little details on it that make it so gigantic aren't going to be doing that anymore. It's just going to be a nice, more compact sculpt as far as that stuff goes. Yeah, look at that. That turned out so much better. A little bit of oil goes a long way, or a little bit of wash, my guys. A little bit of wash. I realized I was probably painting that entire thing off camera as I was ranting about the truck. But yeah, truck is definitely coming. I've even heard rumors that the truck might be in the launch box. Now, I kind of doubt that because launch boxes tend to be push fit and basic transports tend to not be push fit. There was that 1 or 2 different Death Guard kits that were, but I think they ended up coming up with a full glue version of at least one of them. So yeah, that's not a mistake they're going to remake, but we are definitely getting new trucks. So I am so confident in saying so that my own trucks, I took two of them apart for parts, so they're not even built and in my army anymore. And then all the trucks I have remaining are like staying on the sprue, so that I have them available for kit bashing with the new trucks when the new trucks come out. But yeah, definitely getting new trucks. Does that mean you shouldn't buy a current truck? No, absolutely not. You should totally go buy a current truck. Again, all those reasons I just stated. It comes with a zillion details. It's hella cheap. It's really really cool. What I would do is I would buy the truck or two, and keep them around to kit bash with, because you get 6 wheels in there, so that's a lot of wheels. You get a bunch of different armor panels. You get a driver and a gunner, and a turret thing, and like just so many useful parts that could be used in so many different builds. Obviously, you could take a truck and a mech gun kit and put them together and make yourself 4 mech guns. So I would recommend doing that. Like if you wanted to do that with a truck right now, that would be excellent. But yeah, we are getting a new truck. You can bet your teeth on that. I probably painted that whole thing off camera too. I am sorry. I apologize. I am not the best at stream painting cameraing. Yeah, probably because again I'm using a potato for a camera. Maybe let's zoom out a little. That might help too. Let's see what else we got. That nail is best used against blood angels. Save all your old paint pots for bashing cans, dreads, or whatever else you can think of. Absolutely. Yep, gotta have a spare truck or two. Trucks for parts. Yep. Yes, more able to weave through terrain. For those of you that are unaware, competitive 40K uses a really, really, really stupid board setup that literally a lot of models physically cannot fit through. And by the rules cannot drive through because their movement isn't long enough to clear their own base, which is ridiculous and stupid. And the truck is kind of one of those, again, technically, if you put all the junk on it. So I definitely see that changing for that alone as well. We hope it will be smaller. It will definitely be smaller. Yes, definitely stock up on the kits for parts. The really old war truck is cool. It's just too small. I would actually love to see the new truck kind of combine the elements of both of the really old one and the new one, or the current one. That would be cool. Yes, it is a great idea to hoard truck kits for kit bashing. I am currently sitting on, I want to say 5 trucks. I've got 2 that were built and then disassembled, and then 3 that are new on the sprue for kit bashing. If it's old and at work, this is where your old Hammer fans are. Absolutely. Yeah, the terrain is garbage. So I tell everybody, just play narrative. Do not play competitive boards. It's just awful. Let's see, Jehu, do I think the DACA jet is a good source for bits? Absolutely. Behind the truck, it's probably the best source of bits because once again, the DACA jet comes with all of the options to build all 4 or 5 flyers in it. So you get like 2 sets of wings, 2 different tails, 4 different cockpits, a zillion different bombs, different engines. You could take the DACA jet kit and a 1/48th scale, like a MiG-15, MiG-17, F-86 Saberjet, and make 2 DACA jets easily. Because all you really need is that fuselage. But yeah, if you wanted mechanical bits, so again, you're going to get engines, you're going to get exhaust pipes, you're going to get rockets and bombs, you're going to get guns, you're going to get a pilot, a grot gunner, a turret. Like, it is so good for all that stuff. So even if you're not even going to build a DACA jet at all, and not have a flyer at all, you should pick one up for a bit source. Hoarding Savage Oryx. That's a good idea. I would not hoard Old World boys yet because they are still in current production and likely will be for some time. So, the Old World kit, you're good on that. But yeah, Savage Oryx is not a bad idea. Good to know about those planes. Yeah, so Warhammer 40K is a heroic scale. And at heroic scale, you actually want to use 1/32nd to 1/35th scale in order to make it like right. But GW aircraft and tanks are a much smaller scale compared to the rest of the Warhammer line. Like a DACA jet in reality would be, I don't know, probably 50% bigger than the model to actually work, even in universe. But it's just too big for the tabletop. So yeah, you actually end up using a larger scale model to be able to do that compared to the actual dudes who, like I said, are more like 1/35th scale. Let's see. A new Chinook would be cool. Yeah, a new Chinook would be awesome. I would totally dig a new Chinook. All right. What are we painting next on these guys? We started off with this dude. We painted some brown. We painted some Nuln Oil. We painted, I think that's about it. What should we work on now? Once again, I need to get it in the camera here. If you guys want me to not paint on a potato, throw up a super chat, and I will start saving money to buy not a potato to use as a camera. Oh, his. You know what? Let's do some dry brushing on this purple, because I really like the way this purple looks right here. But here it got too dark, so I want to brighten that up. Let's grab a purple and make that happen. How are we going to do that? Let's think about that. I got to find my purples on all my junk here. Battle wagon's in the way. I know there's a purple. What do we got? I got Xerxes purple. That is not the same purple, though. Because what I actually did to do that is I used this one, I think. Lexicon. What, do I drive a Big Mac? Was that the question? Like in real life? If you guys want to, if you're asking about my speed buggy, I can show it to you. Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's go on a road trip. For those of you that don't know, this is actually my second YouTube channel. My first YouTube channel is called Plays with Cars. So that's, blah, 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 youtube.com/plays with cars. And I race cars in real life. So I'm very much into real speed buggies. I'm a real life speed freak. And I do have multiple speed buggies, but the one that you are probably most interested in is the red one. So, dun, 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 there it is. That is my speed buggy. So this is a Porsche 944 S2. It is a 5-speed manual. And don't let its good looks fool you, because it has 217,000 miles on it. And yes, it is all original. Let me pop this open here. But yeah, if you want to see real speed buggy stuff, you should subscribe to my other channel. And you can see me working on these. I teach you everything about working on them and taking them racing and stuff. So there's the engine. It is a 3-liter dual overhead cam 4-cylinder. Yes, 3 liters out of 4 pistons. It is the largest production gas 4-cylinder ever made as far as displacement goes. It is actually literally half of a V8. So the 928, which was the other transaxle Porsche, came with a V8. Porsche's own design, all in-house, wasn't shared with anything else. And originally it was a single overhead cam. And they take one whole bank out so that the crankshaft is long enough to accommodate 8 rods on it instead of 4. But it is a different crank. It is different, intake, obviously, and all that stuff. I think even the heads are different, but it's a lot of really shared architecture. So like similar bearings, all the spacing on things. So like the bore spacing, the distance between the pistons is the same between the 928 and the 944 motors. This one would be the same as a 928 S4 motor, which is a 5-liter dual overhead cam V8. But again, when you switch it out to the 4-cylinder, because you've got more room, you can actually make the 4-cylinder itself bigger, hence why it's 3 liters. But yeah, that is That is the speed buggy, or one of the speed buggies. The other speed buggy, the main one, is an Audi S4, which is supercharged with a roots blown supercharger, and is all-wheel drive with real differentials. Again, six-speed manual, and we take it road racing, autocrossing, that kind of stuff. Um, I'm actually selling it because I bought a second S4 that is the same but better. So if you want to see all that stuff, you should definitely go subscribe to my car channel. I actually have it linked on on this channel too. Like if you go to like the about page, it has like channels that are linked or whatever. But yeah, it's called Plays with Cars. We play with the big speed buggies. We also do little speed buggies. So if you're into like die casts and slot cars and model cars, I do all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's me actual red speed buggy. All right, let's get back to the boop. Let's see. What all questions did I miss while we were doing that? No, I don't want to see that. Come on. There we go. Come on. Oh man, lots of questions. Okay, here we go. Is the Ludus kit still worth it? My LGS has it for $30. At $30, I would buy it. What I would do is not build it because I think the Ludas are going to be like the Tank Busters and Breaker Boys and go to a squad of 6, and they might change the loadout a little bit. But I would definitely grab it and hold on to it. Dang, very nice. No, 1989. And as far as how much horsepower, it's like 210 horses stock. The thing is that it doesn't weigh anything. The car is less than 2,000 pounds. So you think about your modern cars that weigh closer to 5,000 pounds. It accelerates like a 500 horsepower modern car. Imagine not living in the Rust Belt. I grew up in the Rust Belt. I've definitely paid my dues on rusty stuff. Oh, Cap 2, you're looking at a Porsche Marketplace. If you have any Porsche questions, shoot them to me. I've had a 986S. I've had a Cayenne off-road build. I've had an early 944. I've had this one. I work on lots of Porsches. Happy to answer any questions on anything Porsche. I was not expecting an awesome car. That was random but cool. Yes. We are actual speed freaks and actual Big Macs here. So to boost a button, Dirt Hermit is on the S4. That one is the actual fast car. Again, if you guys want to see that, I'd highly recommend going to the other channel. Yes, evil sons rule, red ones go faster. Yep, that it is, Der Herminator. Plays with cars. In fact, we will be introducing the new S4 project. It hasn't even been seen yet. Very, very soon on that channel. Basically, yeah, more than 500 horsepower. A spare Razor Kaio HD cam. Yeah, sure, I guess. Are you offering to sell it to me? Have me buy it? Let me know. Shoot, DM me over at Discord. Let's talk. 'Cause yeah, I this is literally a potato. I'm just using a potato. Love the look of the hatchback. Yeah, it is a hatchback. The 944 is a actual like proper 80s hatchback, and I love it. I mean, especially these days, it's like a spaceship. You know, you go drive that thing around, and people look at you like, you know, you just stepped off of Mars in their sea of, you know, gray SUV blobs. All right, what was I doing with this? Oh yeah, so we're gonna do some dry brushing on here to make this work. What I need to do is come up with a color that will do it. What are you thinking here? Think color wheels. If I want the purple to show up, but not tint it like to the blue side or to the red side. What I want is a nice neutral, but I don't want a gray because grays are actually blue. I think what I want is a tan. So I'm going to go with this deck tan. Oh, Ashley, I'm so sorry to hear that. I know how that goes. For sure. Yeah, BGG hubbies, the transaxle cars are ignored here in the US too. It's funny, people they hear that I'm into Porsches, and I don't know, they get ideas and stuff like that. But what I'm into are every Porsche that's not a 911. I actually really don't like 911s at all. But I love every other Porsche. Like, I am a huge fanboy of 914s, 924s, 944s, 928s, Cayennes, Boxsters, Caymans. If it's not a 911, I am all about it. And so yeah, if I so when I'm all about those, and yeah, they get looked down on. We show up at Porsche Club events, and people will be like, "Oh, it's just a 944," and then whatever. I've tended to find in life that if people like look down at you because of the cost of what you've got, they're probably not people worth being around anyway. But if you're out with somebody, you're meeting somebody, you're at an event or whatever, and they do have something, like way nicer than you, and they come up to you excited about it. Like, I had a guy, we went to a concourse event with the 944 last year, and met with this guy that had a 80s 911 Turbo, the 930, the Widowmaker. Those things are, I don't know, $100,000 cars these days. And he would not stop like talking about how much he loved 944s and how his first Porsche was a 944 and he really loved ours. He was an awesome dude to hang out with. We ended up spending, the whole weekend together, hanging out and chatting and having a great time. But meanwhile, like, there were some other guys that were just kind of not great. And so I just choose not to associate with them. So yeah, definitely find yourself a club with people that are like super into whatever it is, regardless of what it costs. And those are going to be your good peeps. In Warhammer terms, if somebody kit bashes something out of like a toy or garbage, if somebody else is excited about it, that's usually a cool person you want to hang around. If there's somebody that's putting them down about it, that's like, oh, why don't you just like go buy real models? Like, you're too poor to be in Warhammer. You don't want anything to do with that person. All right, so why I got my deck tan out, I actually use deck tan for my my grips, the grip tape, but I also use it as a accent for a lot of things. So like, you see the stitching here on the saddle. So since I already have it out and I already have it on my brush, let's save myself a step and put it on there. Do, do, do. Yeah, you can see what it is. I kind of semi dry brushed the deck tan right on top of the purple that I already had. And I'm going to let that dry. Then I'm going to come back in with this contrast purple to get more of that color intensity that I wanted. But while we wait, touching up that leather seemed like a good idea. Let's see, is there anywhere else on here that needs a little bit of that? Yeah, I don't think so. He's looking pretty good. But you know what? Again, we got the paint out. Let's look at the other ones. They might have a little leather area that needs a stitch or two, like right here on the Grot's butt. He's got one there and there. Just run that across like that. Bada boom, bada bing. This grip could use another little coat here on the top. Slap that up real quick. Yeah, so you know what? Again, with this one, this blue is not quite as saturated as I would like. So I'm going to zenithal dry brush. Just like that. Super duper easy. And then I can come back in with that contrast paint again and flap that on there. And that will help sell that effect. All right. Let's take a look. Any other leather or bone or anything? Nope. Okay, that's him. Let's do the little guy. I don't think he has anything, but we'll take a look anyway. Nope, he's good. All right, this guy. Now, sometimes I'll start painting the teeth with the deck tan, but not in this case. None of their teeth are really big enough. But like on the Beast Boss Squigosaur, you could see the very, very base of the teeth actually has a little bit of this deck tan color. And then like when I get horns, I'll use this to paint some horn. See, he does not have any that I am seeing. He might not need this color at all, other than, again, the top of this just needed one more coat before we put our wash on that. All right, he's good. One left. One left, fellas. Oh, so here's a mistake I was talking about. Like, say I got a little green spot there in that squig. When I go back to paint the squigs, I'm going to want that to be the red, so that he actually turns red. But otherwise, oh, he's got the butt thing way down in there. How am I going to get in there? Like that. That'll do. That should do. Yeah, that works. His yellow turned out real nice. I don't need to do anything with him. Okay, cool. Done with the deck tan. Alright, put this away, clean my brush, and get caught up on the chat again. Boop. Again, real life Big Mac, my work area is always a disaster. And even though I've got this ginormous desk, I paint on the smallest of sizes. Let's see. Favorite Porsche has to be the 959, though. Oh, yeah, I know, right? Yeah, the history with that and importing cars is hilarious. And now you've got Bruce Canepa rebuilding them here in the States. It's wild. Ooh, 4 days off. Got like a 4-day weekend. Oh, hey, thanks, Tugbob. I will. I'll be over there on Discord in a while. Is there a Discord? Yes, there is. Actually, there is a Discord. It is free to join. It is linked in the description of all of my videos. If it's not on this live stream, just go click any of my random videos, and there will be a link to the Discord. It's totally free to join, and it is awesome. It's massive. We've got like 700, 800 people, something like that. Ooh, so BGG Hubbies. Fun story for you about the 959. It is a 5-speed manual, but it is actually 4 gears and a granny low. For those of you that do any kind of four-wheeling or off-roading, you know what a granny low is. It's below first gear. So when you put the stick shift in, you can kind of like push down, move it over. It's like a built-in transfer case for a low range. The 959 actually has a low range in its gearbox, so it's only a 4-speed. Yes, 914s are awesome fun to drive dirt Hermit. I actually raced them with a friend of mine that owned one for 3 years. Won a couple championships with it. Stuck on painting your squig boss. Can't decide on what to do with his iron gob. Well, paint it iron. What are you overthinking that for, Dirt Hermit? You've managed to get the trim done on 3-hole Night Lord Legionnaires. Hey, I've put wash on 4-hole orcs. It's not like I'm doing a whole lot of work. Hey, Saturnine Terminators. I worked on those too. I really like the Saturnine Terminator kit. It turns out great. Yeah, Ashley, definitely hit it up. Our Discord is like legit awesome. I'm not just saying that to like pump it up. We got Dirt Hermit on there running his RPG. We've got a great buy, sell, trade, swap section. We've got new sections for all the armies, which is actually going to lead into our next contest later this year. Like, it's wild. You have to reverse over the bridge. Yeah, I remember that. Not that I remember that. Like, I know of that. I actually, one of the strangest cars I ever drove was a Ford Model A that was all original. And it doesn't have like a traditional gas pedal. And then you adjust your speed using the slider knob on the steering wheel. Man, old cars are really, like, pre-war stuff is so wild to drive. Ooh, 2 trash bags full of bits. That sounds like a good time. All right, we are winding down. Let's get a couple more things done on these guys before the end of the stream, so it looks like we actually did something. Let's get this contrast on there. Yeah, this is the Luxicon purple. I really like the wild contrast paints like this. I think these are way more fun than their like regular purples and blues and reds. Like get the really, really, really vibrant ones. Or yeah, the like really muted brown. I don't know why I like really muted brown so much, but I do. So notice I'm going backwards. I'm starting at the bottom where it's going to be darkest and working my way up. That way the contrast also kind of pulls more down there and helps sell that gradient. I am realizing now, as soon as I put this on here, that this is not the color I used. I don't know how I feel about that. Should I leave it purple or immediately wipe it off and try to find the right color? What do you guys think? Let me know. Vote now. Yeah, the Saturnine kit is wild for its number of parts. Hermit, you want to run the LeBaron against the Porsche? Well, if you drive the LeBaron up here, we'll make it happen. I'm not seeing my orange. Oh, yeah, I haven't gotten to the orange yet. The orange is one of my last steps. That's how I do it. You know, this purple isn't the color that I was actually going for or had used originally, but I'm actually really loving the way that it's looking. So I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it alone. Happy little accident, that. I wonder what color. Oh, you know what? I bet it was this dang Celestrum blue. This blue purple's wild. Dirt Hermit, your LeBaron's the 3-liter V6, right? We talked about this because I used to have a Dodge Duster with that motor. Great little motor. So yeah, we'd actually be a lot closer than you think. That'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, I like the purple too. It does look good. All right, we are going to do one more wash. Because again, I'm going to show you guys that, man, washes just make it. I got to find it. Where are you up here? Done. Wash color. Aha. Good old Agrax Earthshade. So people talk about Nuln Oil being skill in a bottle. Oh, shoot. I totally forgot that arm. Hold on. Hold on. Gotta find the purple. Get the purple back out. Emergency purple. Totally forgot he had a whole nother arm full of leather. Push it around a bit to get the dark in the dark spots and the light in the light spots. Let it pool a bit. There we go. Okay. Whew. Disaster averted. That was terrible. You know, that's another thing that I see people do wrong. Not wrong, but part of what makes B-Snag does not look great is, other than GW painting all the armor panels white, like these things, these are metal. That's armor. That's metal. They painted them white on their stock photos. But when people paint B-Snagas, they tend to paint all the furs the same color. And it makes them look really drab. So painting them all different colors makes them look way, way, way better. So just a hint on the B-Snagas, especially if you're not the biggest fan of them, paint all the metal parts metal, and then make sure that you paint all the furs and stuff different colors. And go wild and bold. It looks way better. All right, so remember the handle here, the tape that's on it? We painted it with that deck tan. Now we're just going to run Agrax Earthshade down it. Like, it's this super simple 2-step process. Go a little bit heavier on the bottom than the top is totally cool. But yeah, this is not a contrast paint. This is good old-fashioned Agrax Earthshade. And yeah, that's it. Boom, done. And what that looks like when it dries is this. That's all that is. All of that wrapping is this deck tan with one thing of Agrax Earthshade. And it turns out looking that good. Super simple. You don't have to overthink this stuff. You don't have to overdo it. You can make it look fantastic with super easy techniques, super easy supplies. You don't need crazy expensive brushes. You don't need crazy expensive paints. You don't need wet palettes. You can take junk right out of the bottle, slap it on there, and have it look great. Just like that. All right, so there's one, there's two. I don't think the little Grot has any. He does not. All right, let's get these last two guys done, and then we will call it for the evening. And notice that I'm going against the wrappings. Like the wrappings are going this way, and I'm moving the brush that way. I want it to catch all the ridges between the wrappings, and that's what's going to grab the shade out of the brush and really deposit it in those asymmetrical bigger areas. Yeah, and then he got a wee little one right there. Boop. And then again, I'm not worried about here in his hand getting a whole bunch in there. If anything, I might add more in there on purpose, because that's going to shade everything in his palm there and help sell that to look more realistic as well. I got the little Grot's handle here. See all this flipping and manipulating. This is what I haven't been able to do. You see how how little often I paint right side up. Like everything is all like upside down and crazy pants getting into these areas. Boom. All right. We are going to call that done for the evening. The hard part about Hobby Hangout is I don't actually spend a whole lot of time hobby because I spend so much time yammering on. But we still managed to get some things done. You can see we got the shade there on the wrappings. We did the Nuln oil on all of the silver. We touched up the browns where we had some issues. We got that purple looking right. Man, that did actually turn out so good. A little black, a little deck tan, one coat of contrast, boom, done. Makes him look fantastic. Oh yeah, we get the red in the mouths and on the eyes. So yeah, we got a fair bit done. We got a fair bit done. This squad, it's not looking half bad. Let me put them all out there to be seen. Pop this off of here. There we go. Get this stupid thing out of the way. So you got some not bad looking at all. All right, let's catch up on here. Agrax is your favorite wash bar far. It is so useful. Yeah, the white. Yeah, I don't know why they picked white. It's so bad. I spilled your first pot and it was Agrax Earthshade. Nice. Oh, someone's got a question for the Big Mac. Why do old boys from 1997 gore handles into hands, but the shooters got handles too? That's so you can have extra shooters to glue inside of things, so that it looks like you got backup guns. In fact, that's one of the things I did on my the Gorkanaut / Morkanaut. Where in there? Bam. There we go. There's a Shuda on the floor. See it? Oh, come on. Zoom in. See the Shuda down there? Use the old Shudas to have them laying around to look like backup. What are we doing here? No, there we go. All right, try to get you guys set back up in a more normal looking area here. Where we at? Oh, Kashuda's. There we go. Sure. Also, have a concept of where your bee snag is like to hunt. Oh, red as a Fenris. Nice. Wolf pelts and ice strike hides. All right, guys. That is going to do it for tonight. It is 9:44. It's my favorite time of the day. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with me on another Hobby Hangout Monday. This is the first one we've actually painted for since September. Yeah, absolutely wild. But super happy I can paint again. It was really, really a lot of fun. You guys were awesome tonight in the chat. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here and hanging out with me tonight. That was actually a ton of fun. That's probably the most fun stream I've had in a long time. Don't forget your merch at theredonesgofaster.com. Linked in all the videos and stuff. Ship all over the world. We shipped to 14 countries, over 200 orders last year. Get yourself some stickers and stuff like that. We have a brand new t-shirt design dropping very, very, very soon. So be on the lookout for that. Come join the Discord if you're not already on there. It's totally free. Again, linked everywhere. Again, the buy sell trade. You get notifications every time I go live and things like that. And then, yeah, if you really like the car stuff, you want to see more real speed buggy stuff, you want to learn about cars, go check out the other channel at Plays with Cars. Okay, that is going to do it for tonight. I am going to pack all this stuff up and go chill out. And we'll catch all you guys in the next video. And until then, Waaaagh on!